just want to warm it up that until we get some people in the room. But I had an amazing pleasure of meeting this woman. Um, she has a very, very smooth aura. And guys love women with smooth auras because you just don't know what's gonna happen. So it's like she got this real smooth essence about her. Which she kind of looks like an essence to me. That's kind of what her name, but it's Juicebox J. So the first thing we're gonna get to and find out what made you come up with this name, Juicebox J. That shit is like I want to know. I want to know for real how that shit even started because that's an official name, there.
Yeah, so that started, it kind of started off more as a joke with one of my old partners. Um, and so then it started off as Juice Box.
Right.
And then once I started getting more into like my online presence and stuff like that, then I decided with my current partner, he calls me Jay a lot. Because my name starts with a J. And so I was like, you know what, let me just mesh the two together. The sound, like, to me, it just flowed. It flowed really good.
Now that's a good flow. Well, you do know in this particular business, you kind of like emulate certain things from your name.
Mhm.
So apparently, we know we can't really give you a real name, but you said it starts with the letter J, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's good enough. So you figure, so let's break down now. The juice. Where did the juice part come from? Because in the old school days, them old school players they call the box a vagina. That's what a box was. So, my pops used to be like, "Yo, you get any box? Did you hit that box last night?" So, does it have any any layout to the word of juice box?
Yeah, actually, it does. It does.
Oh shit!
Like it honestly, and then it's fun. I always get that question. They're like, "Oh, the juice box, is it juicy?" Like, well, yeah, the name implies it, doesn't it?
Well, see, that's the thing that I've learned. No matter whatever a woman is doing, I've learned that no woman likes women like pizzazz. They like a dude to be smooth about, even if something is obvious. Let's just say you can't just go to any woman in the adult industry and just ask a stupid ass question. You still got to put some finesse to it where they can be expressive. So I would assume, it's kind of common if somebody's going to answer, but if they're going to get this, they're going to get this answer right now. So they're going to be, every now and then it's something that becomes the norm.
Yeah.
So when people ask you that, which one are you going to sit up there and actually stress? When it comes to juice box, is it juice box J? Which one is the emphasis on the straight up name?
Um, I would say juice box. Really,
Okay,
because I feel like, to me, that's that's been like, I guess, the hook. That's how people are like juice box, and then like you said, either you're thinking like the old school juice box, or you're like, you mean like apple juice? Like,
right. See, there's this is this old man right here named Reggie Smith. This is one of the subscribers that moved to Colombia because he couldn't get a woman in the United States. So just be clear, you're going to see a lot of these assholes pop up every now and then, but you worry about that. I'll handle that. So this guy right here, Reginald Smith, as you can see, he made a cartoon of his face. And he said, shut this channel down. This is Simpville, sympathize. He doesn't even live in America no more. They kicked his ass out of California. But he said it's called a snatch. Okay, now he got to be at least 97 years old to fucking call it a snatch, bro. We don't say
yeah,
snatch. I clearly just said, now I'm going to ask her, do they call it snatch? Do
I've
you recognize it as
I've
snatch?
I've not heard the word snatch, and I mean, this is gonna sound bad, but I haven't heard that since like middle school, elementary school.
Okay, so that's just to show you how much of an imbecile Reggie is. Give a shout out to Reggie the asshole. He said it bothers me a lot when people call it a skill setting. I didn't hear that. They call it that?
I've never heard that before. Skill setting. That's a new one.
Skill set.
Oh, skill set.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory if that's what they use. But the thing is, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started to actually get in touch with your sexuality first before we could get the viewers on exactly who Juice Box J is and what they need to expect?
So how I got turned on to my sexuality, it really started, and I always just feel funny telling this story because people are like, they always give me that look, like, really, like, what were you doing? You know those memes where it's like those really raunchy, dirty songs, and then
Right.
it's song lyrics, and then it's like 7-year-old me, and like you dance.
Okay. Oh shit.
Like,
What?
so
It starts from there? Oh
it
shit.
it kind of starts a little bit further than that though, because when I was really little, I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know if you know what that movie is.
What's the movie?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I heard of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay, so tell the viewers what they need to know about it, just to give them a quick little out of it.
So it's a cult classic. It's I can't even really, like, to describe the plot. It just sounds so outlandish.
Right.
But so basically, these transsexual or transvestite aliens come down to Earth, and they wind up kind of like abducting this couple,
Mhm.
and some sexual things happen in the movie. And basically, when I was younger, I didn't, of course, understand exactly what was happening.
Right. Do you
But I,
remember do you remember what you seen?
yeah, I remember what I saw. I saw it was it was a scene where, so the main guy, he like dresses in drag. The actor's Tim Curry, and
Right.
he winds up going into, he separates the couple, gives them separate bedrooms. He goes in
Right.
the woman's bedroom, winds up sleeping with her, and then goes in the guy's bedroom, sleeps with him.
Mhm.
And then there's a musical number afterwards, basically about the woman being like sexually liberated, basically. And it's called like Touch Me.
Wow.
So I heard that song, and it just kind of like something went like, yeah, that feels right.
And tell the viewers, how old were you at the time? Because they need to know this, how effective our kids can remember shit.
I was I was about like 6 or 7. I was
Okay.
real young. I was real young.
That shit is serious. Okay, so now when you watch this, the song did a lot to you as well. You know what I mean? As far as like the lyrics and stuff like that. At what point did you know, as you were a growing young woman, that you was in touch with your physical sexuality based on this movie slash song that has such an impression on you?
Probably it was honestly shortly after that, probably about like maybe a year after that. That's when I really like, I get that's when I started to explore my body,
Okay.
honestly. And I grew up in a very like, in a very Baptist household. And so of course, like, it was very frowned upon, that kind of stuff. Not that anybody really knew I was doing it,
Right.
but yeah, so that's when I really started to get more in tune with my body, what I like, and then from there, it just kind of like, I was like, well, if this is what feels good and this is what's going on, then the internet rolled up, and then it just kind of exploded from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it gets any more deeper than that. That's actually official. So hold on, let me get this straight. So, okay, so you do know, of course, I come from a Baptist home as well, and um, it kind of, we become very, very how can I say, you could relate to this. It's very difficult when you know that you were brought up a certain way, and there's certain things that just feel good, but if it's so wrong, then why does it feel so right?
Yes, yes,
So,
exactly.
so do you, in other words, with that being said, I never wanted to get in an adult industry heavy because me, I was like, I don't want nobody seeing me from my church. But once
Right.
the internet came, people just said, fuck it. So like,
Exactly.
with that's one quick question. Like, who was the one you feared the most when it became like, damn, like, I want to do this shit. I want to get into this industry. I
I
don't like
think
what
he
I
cut out.
who was the one that you actually who was the one that you actually feared?
The one that I feared, which I mean, it's kind of kind of funny, more so because she's no longer with us, but was more so my grandmother.
Right.
I was more so concerned with how she would view it. And I had a very spiritual moment couple months, not months ago, a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
And basically I was told that um I was told that I have nothing to worry about in that aspect, that in basic terms, she would view it as if she looked the same way as I did, she'd probably do the same exact thing.
Mm, that sounds like some real confidence there. I love it. So you are in touch with your body. You're in touch with the way you look. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, she's a very attractive woman. We will be doing some incredible footages soon. But what was it now? Was you just in touch? Because in this world right now, there was a time when people wanted to be slim, and now everybody wanted to be thick. Now you see all the commercials now. So did you come right in the zone of that?
I no, I've always had a problem with my body, honestly. I've
Really?
always Yeah, I've always kind of had a problem with my body. Growing up, I was super, super thin, like crazy thin, not a curve in my body. And then puberty hit, and then all of a sudden I put on pounds, I had breasts, I had hips, my jeans didn't fit anymore.
Right.
So, um,
Oh,
and then it just kind of like my weight's always fluctuated for the most part since then.
right.
But no, at this point in my life, I would say that it does affect me at times. Like, of course, everybody has their moments where they're like looking at themselves and they're like maybe I could look better.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm learning, and especially through doing this, I'm learning to love my body and love what I have.
Right. And that you're into that. Like you're able to look in the mirror and say, damn, like, that's important for somebody, because fellas don't feel that a lot. We go through a whole different level of physical
Yeah,
therapy.
I was just gonna ask, do you ever feel like
Well, see, with me, it tends to be a thing. Oh, somebody's calling at the wrong time. Hold on one second, all right? Hold on.
let's see, comments? What ethnicity is she? So I am white and black. I am interracial.
Yeah. So you see the comments coming up. I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's okay.
we feel the same. We do feel that. Myself, I do. Um, for one, I kind of used, I'm a tall guy, so I tend to embrace that a lot. Um, we've been out the gym since March, so that's been a little transition.
Yeah.
That transition has been very, very tough. But I have a new profound love for myself now, because now it's like, what, even when they open these gyms back up, I could care less now, because now I got back into myself in the deepest way. So we don't technically look at ourselves the way women do, but
Yeah.
I like the way I look in my clothes. I like the way I look in the suit. I like the way I wear, even if I wear workout clothes, just to feel good. So yes, you know, I do look at myself like that, and I encourage a lot of men on this channel to do the same. I think it's important. So it's very, very important that we feel this way. And as you can see, we have anybody is asking who this, they want to know who that. My name is Juice Box J. Juice Box J. I'm going to say this right here. See it right here? Juice Box J. It's right there. What's her ethnicity? She's black and white. Could you tell them exactly who was black and who was white?
Yeah. So my dad is black and my mom's white.
Okay. So now this is the thing. We When you came into this, where did you know how far you want to go in this in regards to the sexuality part? Knowing that, wow, I may have my struggles. I don't know if my grandmother's gonna feel this way. What couldn't you just not deny that you just felt in your heart that you just want to do?
I I don't think of myself necessarily as a creative person, but a lot of people do. And I guess when I when I thought about it, I was like, I was looking for a way to express myself because of all this quarantine stuff. And I've been stuck at home for the most part. So I was like, what can I do? And kind of like you said, I did some like soul searching. And and it's funny to say this. Just I kind of got bored with the porn I was watching.
Okay.
Like I kind of everything started looking the same for the most part. Like everybody's fucking their stepsister
Right.
or like it's all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, what if you do something a little bit different? Like, yeah, there are plenty of girls doing amateur type stuff, but I
That's,
mean,
that's huge, but it is kind of boring. I agree.
yeah, it's just like why not give people the option to get custom content that they actually want to see and then also just be able to express myself and my own sexuality at the same time.
Do you feel that that's a big issue with a lot of women feel the same way? I really feel a lot of women feel the way you do. They just don't know who they can share it with, who they can tell it to. Do you find that being an issue among your peers or just generally just being a woman?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, I'm not very open with like everybody that I know that I do this. Um, but I'm not necessarily hiding it either. Like if you really wanted to look necessarily hard enough, you could find it. Um, I don't know, I just with 2020 and the way that it went, because for a while I went back and forth between wanting to do this and not wanting to do this.
Mhm.
And then I started making profiles and then I deleted them, made another one, deleted it, all kinds of stuff like that. And then when 2020 happened, I just kind of went, fuck it.
Right.
I was like, what does it even matter? Like, if I'm happy, if I'm loving myself and I'm not hurting anybody, then what's the big deal?
I love it. And let me just say this to my subscribers. I know all of y'all are trying to look up her name on the internet, but I didn't say the go to look for her site. But we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to all the things about the entanglement issues and what's going on, who's for it, who's not. But right now, we just trying to really find out. Look, another one. I can't find no videos. God damn shit. Well, she didn't give that information yet. She'll let you know what particular sites you can see her on exclusively because we're trying to run a situation here. Question is I have is with you before you ask me. Um, how long have you been in a relationship and is your man black or white or woman, whoever you're with?
So I have been with him for over 4 years now. He's Caucasian. Um, he is older than me. He is about 5 years older than
Well, we don't want to say any ages right now because she's in the business, so we haven't discussed what that number's gonna be.
me.
But let's just say she's legal. Let's just say that much. That's all that matters. Just want to keep it there. So with that being said, the reason why I asked that is because most of the time, white men are usually a little more open in this business, in this mode of this thing called entanglement, which Will Smith and them, we all know is polyamory, um, threesomes, all the above. I mean, lifestyles, we know the situation. It's been like this. So the fact that you are with a Caucasian man just pretty much, you know, makes it a lot more, understandable because
Makes sense.
most black dudes just are too territorial to handle that.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's
he'll do it with you if you went out, if y'all went somewhere and like, yo, you and him are kicking it, like, yo, let's go to this little spot. And, it's like, we could switch up with other couples, shit like that. But if you as his wife or his girl, he's gonna be fucking terrified of that.
yeah. And I realized that I had actually asked one of my friends, just kind of his opinion on it. Um, and he had he was like, yeah, I guess I could be cool with it unless we had a fight and then she ran off and went to go see them. And I was like, okay, I was like, I can understand where you're coming from, but if you think about it, it's almost the same as her going and running to a girlfriend's house She's just going to do the same thing. She's going to bitch about you and whatever. And you don't know, maybe she's going to have sex with her girlfriend. Maybe her girlfriend secretly likes her.
Yeah, that's true. That's some true shit. You'll be like, "Oh, y'all going to my girlfriend's house." I'll be like, "Yo, fuck it, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. As long as you ain't going to no dude's house." The next thing you know, they're eating each other out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Which I don't care what no man says. He could sit there and be like, "Well, I could have preferred that more." No, dude, you can't compete with a woman. So that shit's worse.
Yeah, I've been told that I was like, because I've been with couples before, and I was told it by the girl like, that I was better than he was after the fact.
What?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
she was like, maybe you want to teach him a thing or two, and I was just like, my services are for me, for me and my partner.
Made your shit even more exclusive. Shout out to Jukebox J. I love the name though. So
So are you territorial then?
yeah, am I territorial? Yeah. I'm territorial with my main, but I may not be territorial with my dame. So that basically I just threw that in, man. I'm not no rapper or nothing like that, but Juicebox knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I can, to say the least, I could have that type of relationship. Um, and again, you do know this lifestyle is a lifestyle because there's just very rare people are open to talk about certain things like this. So, um, I just got so much questions for you, but I'm going to let you shoot the question because you wanted to say this important. I'm going to give her the credit because Juicebox, this is not my title. I'm not going to take the credit for it. It's actually her title. And Juicebox, let them know what you wanted to know about and ask me, or what I
um,
felt, what we felt.
oh yeah, so I wanted to ask you about how you felt about and the entanglements, polyamory, the idea of like your partner being attracted to somebody else. Do you think that devalues their love for you?
Well, it's kind of messed up. I think men are real selfish with this answer because we always feel that we have that ability and that luxury. But that's a great question. Uh, it's a great question because I may myself have an issue with my main woman thinking like that, right? I will. However, now you have to think of the stipulations of what she want to be with a girl, and does she want to be with a woman that does she want to be with a dyke or she want to be with a lipstick. So to say
Right,
the least, I guess there's some mode of you kind of have your main girl to like, okay, listen, you do this and do that, and then now you have your girl, and then it's like, all right, we could do anything. So, my girl, I would say more. Yes, I would be open to that. I would be open to her having that appetite, so to speak.
hmm
Um, but now I'm thinking on levels of what is this somebody on my team? Is this someone of the brothers that you want to fuck one of my boys?
right,
You know,
right.
I'm cool with that. So legit, I'm cool with that. If
Yeah.
you want to freak, because I've done it. I've done that shit a lot of times, but I've never did it with my main, but I did it with somebody I was fucking with on a major level. So it's kind of similar, but a little different. Um, the thing is if it's gonna be that way, then it has to be open on my side as well. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if that's what you're gonna be into, then I openly got to be into what I'm into now without sneaking and hiding behind your back. So I feel if it's gonna be that type of relationship, like you said specifically, I can do with the situation more as if she was side piece, what we would say, or what we say a guman, whatever.
hmm
My main, no, I definitely can't handle it. I think that I have an issue with even doing certain things with a main.
Okay.
I feel that the filthy, disgusting stuff it's usually of the second woman, so to
Yeah.
speak, rather than the main. So, what would
Hold
you
on.
interpret that to be?
So then the follow up for that, then my question would be, do you think that your main girl would be into that, the kind of like disgusting things? Or like, is it more so she's not into that, but the other one is, and that she can help you feed that desire? while you get the stability or whatever it is that you get from your main girl?
That's a great question. Some men could say what their girls are into, and they don't really know. Because if I fuck with a woman that has a man or a husband in the past,
Yeah.
and we ain't trying to twist that up here, but they have there's situations where their woman, their man didn't know what they was into.
Right.
So that's something. But if let's just say mainly, if a woman is not into something for the most part,
Yeah.
so hypothetically, she's not into this, she's not into anal, and let's just say you're into anal, and then she's not into anal, and then it's like, all right, well, the side chick is into that.
Hmm.
But let's just say if the woman is secretly, your main woman is secretly into filthy stuff and or extra stuff, and
Right.
you don't want to do it because she's your main girl. Well, then that's a problem because eventually she's gonna have that desire met. And
Yeah.
I think I probably struggle with that a little bit. Um, that's a great question. I think sometimes I try to not smut the main situation, but I want to enjoy the second situation, which is kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I guess that's been one of the ways that I've grown up. Look what somebody had to ask. Listen to this. Look at
No.
that.
Yes, yes, I do have an OnlyFans. Yes, I
Yes,
do.
yes, she does. So yes, we
But
about
my
to get.
OnlyFans is it's not Juice Box J though. It's not. I think my OnlyFans, let me just double check because I know my username on there is, but I think the actual um link
Right.
something.
Yeah. So she does have OnlyFans. So I know you're gonna go crazy over that. And she's picking my brain here now, y'all. That's actually good. So yeah, we need we need that. And I think a lot of men could really. And I think it's a thing of men. I can speak for a lot of men of color, especially black men. They probably would agree.
Hmm.
Secretly, some men are not going to sit there and say that because they may have their real name up here. They don't want to incriminate themselves. But you know, can that be we're gonna give her OnlyFans information throughout the course of the interview. Oh, I definitely I'll have it in the description either way. So my thing is this. I think the closest I got to with a main girl years ago, I remember she pretty much wanted to know if I was into that with her. Now we was just kicking and dating at the time, but when we got serious, the question that wasn't offensive was offensive by the time she was my girl. It's like, fuck are you talking about? I'm not sitting there doing that shit. You wanted two girls? She was with the two girls. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, but what about two men? And that shit just was like, I think I was mad
Hmm.
because I couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? It was more of a thing that I just couldn't deal with that shit. So what's your interpretation of that?
So my I don't want to come off rude or anything like that, but always my interpretation of that
Right.
when it comes to because you were okay with the women, right?
I'm okay with the woman with a man. I can't do none of that.
Hmm.
I just can't even do it with a woman like at all. But if it's your second thing, I could do the woman thing. Female, we talking like she got to be feminine, or
Yeah.
I ain't trying to
It,
do the whole
to me, it sounds like almost like a masculinity thing.
right.
Like it's like, am I not man enough for you?
Mine's is more this. See, I have a problem with seeing a dude's balls and ass in person. So
Okay.
what happens is, like one of my homegirls, one time she came. I went over the house in the Bronx, and will never forget this day as long as I live. And she wanted me to come up there. She was on some freak shit, so she really like started expanding herself. We both Libras, so we had a close connection. So I remember the day I'm in the room, and her man was a barber. He comes home, comes to her house, and I just heard bang, bang. I was like, oh shit! So he was fucking in the hallway. Then he gets somehow she ran. They stopped fucking, and then she ran into the room where I was, and then she got doggy style. He went from the back. He was like, yo, well, my nickname is Corey. He's like, yo, Corey, let me know when you're ready. I never will forget this. I remember hitting that shit from the back and my shit just died.
No, I mean, if that's the thing though, so it's just that. So then you wouldn't want to be involved in a threesome with another man.
Well, I was involved with a threesome with another man, but this situation was a little different. He was hitting it from the back. No. Yeah, he was hitting it from the back. Right. He was hitting her from the back, and I came in there and I threw it in the mouth, and then all of a sudden it was like, I remember the time he's like, oh shit, he thought, but he had a condom on. That shit was actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? Because for some strange reason, I was able to see her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was able to see her back arch, her ass, and so all that shit just looked good. And she was I gotta think of a name for it. She was like my second main. So I was cool with that. So he did that. That was my boy. But I think in the situation that happened with my homegirl in the Bronx, I think I didn't see her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm so deep into a woman physically. I got to see toes. I got to see legs, ass. You know, I got to see something on her that's gonna. I don't care if the hair's flopped on behind her back. It has to be something. So seeing this man, you know, I couldn't get turned on, you know, because he was in the way. So he was hitting it. He was like, yo, let me know when you ready. I said, oh shit, I couldn't believe it. And I was way younger back then. So I was saying, there's something wrong with me. But that's what it was. It was just that I just seen that the masculinity of a man that, you know, to each his own. Some people listen, to each his own. Some dudes would have jumped in on that shit, you know what I mean? But with me,
but that's just not for you.
It just wasn't my thing. So then when I did it with my other boy, when we had the girl that way, that position was incredible. Remember, he was fucking her, so it wasn't like I was even fucking her. So that was great. And yeah, so you know, I guess the fact that I physically so attracted to a woman, even if my woman or woman doesn't have that attribute, forget it. I'm fucked. Like, I don't have a type. It's just you just have to deliver just femininity in all ways. And that's just how it is for me. And I can speak for a lot of black men on this, that on a territorial level, black men are a lot more territorial with their main girl, even involving her in any of that.
Right.
But usually when we're territorial, I'm gonna say this without putting dudes under the bus, but we're territorial about shit that we can dish out. It's kind of twisted. It's like a person could shoot a gun, but nobody want to get shot. So
right. Yeah, it's definitely even for me at times it has been a struggle as far as like jealousy.
Right.
Before more so, like, because growing up, like, I never really knew necessarily what polyamory was. It wasn't until I was like, till I came out as bisexual and then graduated high school that I really knew what polyamory was. And I used to get so jealous, like angrily jealous, even if like my boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever was just like would just compliment another person. And I it took me a while to really sit there and be like, well, why am I jealous? And then it basically, for me anyway, it stemmed from my own insecurities and feeling like I'm lacking in a place where they're not.
That's how you thought about that.
Yeah, it was like comparing myself almost to them. When in reality it wasn't like that. It's like I said, you can see a flower and think it's beautiful and leave it there.
Right.
Kind of thing. But I also, and then later on growing up, then I came to realize more so that it just kind of like, I don't know, it just made more sense for me, polyamory. It just made, I'm not as jealous. Not that I'm not jealous at all, because I still do get jealous.
You still get jealous about him with another
but
woman?
It's made things easier. Yeah, I still get jealous about women. Usually for me, though,
your man with another woman or just seeing another woman generally?
More so my man with another woman. And it's not even like him sleeping with her, because that's not even necessarily an issue with me. It's more for me the emotional aspect of it. If I feel emotionally threatened then it becomes a problem.
That's where men meet that feel the way I do with the emotion part, because now we start thinking about like, damn, like as protective as y'all are with the way, or in other words, the way y'all look at cheating is a lot different than the way we look at cheating, but we understand it when it becomes us. In other words, let's just say a man cheats is really no big deal to us because we're like, well, doesn't mean we love the girl. A woman will look at it and say, well, you loved her and didn't think of me, you know, and we're like, no, it wasn't nothing like that. So when y'all cheat on us, it's like, well, how the fuck could you cheat on us when you taught me all that bullshit about love? You see what I'm saying? So that's why we
Yes,
take
yes.
it even harder. So I think with in regards to the man, and I had a situation that happened to me recently. I'll tell you about that in a minute, in a lifestyle party. But what I don't understand recently, like months ago, when I talk about during the COVID, but if you see your man having sex with another woman
Mhm,
and she's straight up getting a black bone out, like, oh my God, they kissing, like
mhm.
they're really kissing passionately, would you get turned on, or is it just like you'll smack the shit out of her, or you'll just walk out the room? Like what, at what level of this polyamory that can you deal with?
I missed the end of the question.
Yeah, what's the level of this polyamory that you can deal with in regards to if you seen your man conjugating with a woman, whether he's sucking her toes or, you know, eating her out or kissing her wild, like what could you
First,
what
personally, I'm not into the toe thing, so I'd be
okay.
like, "Where's this coming from?" If I saw him sucking on her, be like, "What are you not telling me?" Like, but no, I just like personally, I get kind of turned on by the idea.
Right,
Honestly, um, like even I had a situation with a partner before where I was trying to help them get a girlfriend, basically.
right.
And this was a guy I was trying to help him get a girlfriend, and we both knew her. And I I don't know, just because like I could see like I guess you could say I could see how happy he was getting, um how giddy he was. It was almost like he had a crush. It was cute. I thought it was real cute. So it made me like, oh my God, like I'm excited. I wanted to push it further. And things wound up not working out, but still, like, I don't know. It's just like it's um
You felt the kind of way with that.
yeah, it's there's a term for it called like compersion, where it's like you get happiness from other people's happiness.
Mm, okay. So the fact that you seen him giddy,
Mhm.
this it was disturbing to you.
It wasn't disturbing. It just like it it made me because he was honestly at first he was kind of very like not, I don't want to say against it, but he was kind of like I don't know about this lifestyle, like you
Oh
said.
shit. Okay.
He was like, I'm not too sure about this. And then once I saw him and kind of saw him seeing the light in a way, I guess you could say,
Right.
seeing my perspective of it,
Mhm.
um, it made me feel good inside.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's this. See,
Yeah.
that's where see, one thing I've learned about the lifestyle in this whole mode of whether it's entertainment or just the life of your home. You guys have to legit be on the same page. So now, with that being said, have you ever been in a position where your man has seen you have sex with another man and watched it or seen it, or how what did he feel like?
No, so we haven't had that kind of situation come up yet. See, I'm very much more open, I would say, with women. I'm more trusting with them.
Okay.
When it comes to bringing in another man, I'm definitely a lot more guarded. I feel
Right.
like I have to be, not just not just for me, but also because like in a sense, this person is also coming into my current partner's life as well.
Okay, so you kind of understand. You kind of linked up with some of the ways, the weird ways of I'm thinking about. Okay, so the question would be, s- basically, would you know that until it happens, or it's just something that you didn't visit yet and you just really don't know?
Right now, it's just something I would say I just really don't know.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Kind of like up, it's kind of up in the air right now as far as bringing another man into it. Now, are there, of course, like there are men that I'm attracted to, but like I said, I do have to be a little more guarded. And now, especially now that I'm in this industry, I do feel like I definitely have to be more guarded.
Damn. Okay. Well, no, I could see. I could see the guarded part on that. Obviously, he doesn't have an issue. Does he have an issue with your attraction to women? Some dudes do.
He kind of like how I was saying, at least this was my interpretation of it, because I don't want to put words in his mouth necessarily since he's not here. But my interpretation was that there was an issue at one point with another woman because he felt that I was having more of an emotional connection with her.
Oh
Than,
shit. What, like you would invite her over when he didn't know?
no, it wasn't anything like he would always know. I always I
Oh,
keep him in the loop. I
okay.
never hide anything from him. If he asks, I tell. If I feel
Right.
like he needs to know, I tell him.
Right.
But it was definitely more like because I was definitely facilitating her a lot more
Right.
and
Right.
like catering to more of her needs when she was around. But I think that was more so for me because I didn't see her as often. It was more of a long distance relationship with her.
Right. 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 So see, he picked up I could see that though.
Yeah.
I could see I could see that, and no matter what, man or female, that shit will be a little on a manhood level. I could see that. And would you take that as an insecurity? Would you take that as an insecurity that he's lacking? You know what I mean? Or something that would you see that generally as a man as an insecurity in a bad way?
Yeah, I generally, yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily that he is lacking, like that's a
Right.
fact. He's lacking something,
Right.
but in his mind, he perceives that she has something that he can't provide to me that clearly I like.
Okay. Okay. I got you. All right. All right. That's a good one. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So does it become a thing now where you know, would your stand be male? Like, in other words, is polyamory still the same as being attracted, a woman being attracted to a woman? Wouldn't that kind of be more of like a paradise for him? Or would that be the real deal? Like Jada Smith, like Will Smith and Jada Pickett. Like, how about the woman is into men? You know what I mean? Like, so in other words, is it still it's still a thrussle? What's it called? A
Throuple?
thruple, right? I got that from the interview I did with the girl I told you about. Oh
Um,
shit.
but yeah, I mean, like there are a bunch of different ways you can kind of navigate polyamory, and being a throuple is one way. And then there's, I mean, like I said, there's a bunch of them, and so like to me, my ideal polyamory would be what's referred to as like a kitchen table polyamory,
Right.
which is like pretty much like the like when pigs fly kind of
Right,
situation,
right, right,
where
right.
basically everyone can just live together and coexist and like sure if you,
I would love that.
yeah, like kumbaya. That would be my ideal. And as far as how many people that would involve, I mean, it's just kind of like up for interpretation, really.
What so so give a breakdown to people that don't know, because this whole entanglement thing with Will Smith and Jada, we need the people didn't understand, but polyamory, I don't know if I'm saying I would say it wrong.
You could just say like polyam if that's easy.
Polyam, right. With polyam, could you break down to the guest here exactly essentially what does it represent? Is there a limit? Is there a minimum?
Um, so I would say as far as the limit is really up to the individual and the couple.
Right.
It's really about boundaries. Like whatever boundaries you want to set, that's your relationship. Like as far as the Will and Jada thing, like I don't know how their thing worked, but apparently, in my perspective, Jada wasn't being honest with Will and broke a boundary, whatever that boundary was, which is why he wound up looking the way he did. Um,
Oh, okay. Okay. A lot of people didn't know, whoever's been sleeping under a rock. Will Smith and Jada been doing their thing forever. Um, but now for some reason, this just situation just came out to be more like came out. And um Can you tell them, did Will Smith have a problem with the situation, or did Jada get busted? What basically happened for those that don't know? We know, but for those that don't know, just give them a quick layout.
Yeah, so what it sounded like Jada got busted sleeping with, I didn't even pay attention to who she was sleeping with.
I forgot his name.
I think August or something like that. It
August
was like a
Alsina.
month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
She was
Right.
sleeping with him. And so what I imagine would be a realistic boundary would be, okay, if Jada wants to pursue other relationships, she would tell Will. And
Okay.
she probably didn't tell him, and then she got found out. So
Oh shit.
that would constitute as cheating. You broke a boundary, you cheated. Not necessarily that you just went and had sex with somebody. Like, you can have sex with them, but like, you have to respect the boundary. And I think also the fact that August was Jaden's friend, that was a whole nother thing. So I think it was just a
So
real messy thing.
they were friends, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Damn. So right. So with that being said, in the real world, the guy always looks bad when it happens. Like Will Smith looks like the total fucking loser.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looks like the weak guy, and I think that's not fair to him, honestly.
It's
I
not
think it's
fair. You know what it is? It's like if your man cheats on you, we don't look at it and like, oh my gosh, man, it's so sad that happened to her. But when the guy listen, a man could cheat on his woman 100 times, she still doesn't look bad, right?
Mhm.
But when a guy has one fucking time you fuck somebody, he looks like a piece of shit. Unless he's totally like, hey, it wasn't cheating. I allowed her to do this shit. I love her doing it. I should have taped it. But yeah, he did look bad on that level. But the only thing that was confusing to me was, and this is what I want you to explain to the people. Did we use the word entanglement ever? Or they just
that was the
created it?
first time I had ever heard the term
She
entanglement.
created, they
Yeah.
created that shit.
Like, I think that was her way of being like, I cheated, but without saying she cheated.
Yeah, shout out to Jada Pickett's publicist. That was a good move. That was a
Right.
good,
It was. I was
I would
like,
have did
damn,
that
that's
shit.
strategic.
I would have said, when you busted, you got to make this shit work, So we're gonna let the people, I think that's what they truly did. So with that being said, what do you think should be encouraged? If that was an entanglement, doesn't that mean that the husband should have known? Or is that just like, hey, did she basically try to name some shit that she really shouldn't have named because he wasn't with it?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like she was just trying to name it when he wasn't really with it at the time. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the history of Will and Jada, like I said, or anything like that. But for polyamory to work, like, if the parties don't know, like if your partner does not know what you are doing, that you have another person you're sleeping with,
Right.
then that's just cheating. Point blank,
Okay.
period.
I respect that. Okay, you hear that, fellas? You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? If they don't know, you're a cheating motherfucker. So
Yeah. You can call yourself polyamorous and sleep with as many people as you want, but if your partner doesn't know, you're cheating. Like,
now that has to be known to the point, because I remember my boy, he married a woman that openly was lesbian before he got with her, but he felt that he changed her, which he did. Anyway, they have a lot of threesomes, a lot. The only thing was, he never had, to my knowledge, no man involved with it. It's always the girls, and the woman gets the girls.
yeah.
What is that called? Isn't that just in the black community, that's just called a threesome or freaks?
They're so when it's a guy and like two girls, there is like a main term for it, because there's another term for when it's a woman and two guys.
Right.
But I can't remember it off the top of my head, honestly. But that's something that I was talking with some other of my polyamorous friends,
Right.
and that was something that we were talking about, how when it comes to like polyamory and being black or a person of color, typically what you see is the guy and then two women or multiple women.
Right.
And like,
Right. That's true.
usually, from my experience from TV anyway, it's usually
Mhm.
like a Muslim man with like many wives, and
Right.
like it's like some weird culty abusive thing, and it's not. It doesn't have to be like that. Like,
So that's definitely not true.
no.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. Oh shit. Now you mentioned polyamory friends, right?
Mhm.
How do you get these friends? Do you get them through the websites, or you just happen to grow up with a few people and y'all was like, yo, we on the same shit? Like how do people get this organization of meeting polyamorous friends?
So I had two friends that were polyamorous growing up, and they were the ones that really kind of introduced me to it.
Okay.
And then from there, basically, kind of like you said, like the internet and like websites, things like that. Honestly, I went and I went on Facebook and I just had typed in like polyamorous groups or like
Oh shit.
LGBTQ polyamory, people of color polyamory, things like that. And there are groups like that. So
Big
that's where I
groups too,
went.
right?
Yeah, and there's some pages on Instagram too that I follow. Um, Black Polynation is one of them specifically, and I really like their content, and they give the Black perspective on
Black
it.
Poly Nation, that's actually pretty dope. Black Poly Nation. Wow. Oh shit. Now, with that being said, what is the difference with a poly nation of blacks and whites? I think whites go harder. I just think whites just got that shit. Like, in other words, to me, I could be wrong, but you'll correct me with this. I think poly, it's a white thing more than a black thing. I think white people go harder in a good way. They just go harder with shit that we do, man. You know, when it comes to that game, we can't fuck with them, man. You kidding me? Like, so in other words, when you grew up with your polyamorous friends, they
Mhm.
were white females or black?
They were white.
See what I'm saying? Or females too, right?
Yeah.
How do they break this down to you? That shit, like, how do they say, like, yo, we wouldn't fuck today? You know, like, how do they break it down to you? Like, how do they tell you about that shit?
Well, they actually told me about it because they had invited me to a threesome. So that's
Oh,
how I
wow,
had found out.
that is dope. That
So I
is
was just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm like, you guys are open, and then they kind of like explained a little bit more, and so they but yeah,
how'd you like the threesome?
it was good. Like, it was good.
Okay,
It was my first one, so it was an experience.
okay.
Um, but I liked it. I enjoyed myself. We all did. We all enjoyed ourselves.
Now it's sad because a lot of some of these busters I got on this channel, nobody here because nobody's being disrespectful now, but there's a lot of clowns that listen to the video when it posts and
Mhm.
it goes into production, right? So they really have a hard time um pretty much connecting with women of this lifestyle. Like, they have to go very far. A lot of these guys got to go to Latin countries to meet a lot of women. I feel you are a very educated woman. You're very smart and intelligent. So, with that being said, they relate. They don't understand that a lot of intelligent woman is in this fucking lifestyle. Like, it ain't a thought thing. It ain't like, oh no, we gonna go fuck some dick today. No, it. These are professionals. Like, my man that has his wife. He loves this shit. Like, he sends me shit all the time. Like, yo, Nate, look how my wife's getting fucked by these 3 black guys. He's
Mhm.
into this shit. You know what I mean? So I'm supposed to go to Philly too. I told you to film him. But anyway,
Mhm.
the point being made, most people look at me and say, well, how do you even know these people? Where the fuck do you meet them? I said, you know what I've learned from me? The more and more you integrate with people, you're going to be expressed and learn so much of shit. Like, it's not like I have to necessarily go to a preliminary school. It's just more of a thing that you just happen to ask people. You got to ask the person, yo, what you into? Because I think a lot of times how we stick our foot in our mouths out here.
Yeah.
If you know a girl, let's say for example, a guy could say, man, I never met a girl that did drugs. I said, yeah, you never met a girl that did drugs and you knew about it.
Right.
Maybe you probably told her, nah, man, I don't fuck with that. If any girl ever told me shit, next thing you know, she's like, well, I ain't telling them shit. He doesn't know. So if you ask a guy, if a girl asks a guy, so what do you think about threesomes? And he's like, fuck that. No, my woman ain't doing that shit. She's gonna be quiet about it.
Mhm.
But if you kind of keep it open, I used to always tell women that too. I said, if you want to ever know if a guy has a girlfriend, I mean, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But if you ever want to know if a guy has a girlfriend, just tell him like you have a man, And you step out on your man every now and then. You like to have your fun. There's no man that's gonna get mad at you and check you.
Right.
So he's gonna tell you, hey, I got some shit to tell you too. I'm fucking married with 4 kids. You're like,
Right.
oh, okay. He's like, yeah, well, even though this may not be the case, you're probably not in the relationship. But I feel that the more and more you're open about who you are,
Yeah.
you know how to kind of put that out. So when people are asking questions and they see hardcore judgment, they're not gonna tell you who they really are. See what I'm saying? Somebody seeing you right now just off the rip, they would never know. They probably thought this was a conversation about discussing green things in the world and how we should do with the society and in the ozone layer, right? But they
Right.
didn't know that. But in that world that we see, I'm looking at, when we see these things going on with the Black Lives Matter, and I'm seeing the people involved in this. I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, they get their shit off when this is over. And there's people that have connected through these motions, whether they're through groups. So you mentioned a group. How in the hell could you tell a person? How can men in America and meet women where, listen, 2 girls that put you on? I'm pretty sure they was cutie pies. It wasn't no monsters.
No.
So see, so how how would you encourage men that's just come in and work, hardworking guy? What in the fuck should they say? I'm not going to tell them all the time. I want you to tell them, how could they find this out? I'm not going to tell them how I found you. I don't need to know all that. But how can they find? How could you help them out and guide them on meeting polyamorous women? Polyamorous women.
Um, honesty, like being open, like you said, you really have to be open and just it can be something casual, like you can just start up a normal conversation and just kind of like bring it in and be like, oh yeah, my partner. Usually when you say my partner, if somebody that is polyamorous, like if they
Right.
already are, they like that's a signal word for them almost. Like, oh okay, partner. Um, or even a lot of people like to use the term like I would say like solo poly.
So,
For if you're
solar poly.
yeah, so there's a term called solo poly, which is more for people that aren't looking for like emotional relationships necessarily or
Right.
anything that's necessarily I shouldn't say emotional, anything that's quote unquote serious.
Right.
Um but yeah, I would say honesty, just be open, just tell them what you're looking for, tell them you're interested in the lifestyle. Usually if you started off,
Mhm.
then it'll make them like you said, it'll be easier for them to kind of let their guard down and be like, oh okay.
Right. Right.
Because even for me, like online, I still, even with dudes, like I've reached out to guys, I find it like a little nerve wracking to be like, hey, I like you, but by the way, I also like I like other people too, and I also have a partner.
Shit. Wow. That's fucking me.
And then
See?
some people go like, I had one guy that I told him that he was interested in me, he wanted to date me, and I was open with him, and I told him I was polyamorous, and he kind of just went, all right, well, good luck with that, and that was that.
He
So
said that?
yeah, it
Black, it was a white dude?
was a white guy.
Oh shit.
Um, so yeah, it's not for everybody, but if you're open and honest, you'll find the right person.
Do you feel that being polyamorous is only for married couples, or it doesn't matter?
No, because a lot of people, there's like a lot of people that are in marriages that like they'll either open their marriage or call their marriage polyamorous because they're looking to like fix it or spice things up or anything like that. And it's like that's not what it's for. It's not going to fix you. You like whatever problems you have with your marriage, like you need to sort that out. Bringing another person in is just going to add to your problems. You're just going to add them into the mix now.
This is interesting. I'm learning a lot here. I also wanted to know. We're going to ask this question again, but of course, it's in the title. Um, Produced, of course, by Juicebox J. I just want to say, and this is something I need to know: can you can you love anybody any less being polyamorous if you are looking towards somebody or something else?
Not to me, not if you really love that person. Like if you really love that person, it doesn't matter if there's somebody else that you love because like it's almost like when you have multiple kids,
Right.
Like for my family, like I'm the responsible one, or I was the responsible one.
You,
Uh,
you're still the responsible one. You got a lifestyle though. That's all.
um, and where my brother was more of the irresponsible one.
Right.
And so like there are traits about me that my parents I'm sure like and don't like, and then there's traits about my brother that they like and don't like, but they
Precisely.
don't love us any less because of it.
Precisely. Okay, I can understand that. But do you also feel that when you're in the relationship, but by the way, shout out to you because you just basically gave a comment that most men that if they did step out, they probably love you right now. So so what I'm saying is this. Now we just heard this from a woman, okay? Ladies, if you're listening, just because we step out on you doesn't mean we love you anymore.
Let's put a little legal note under that. If you step out and we tell you.
Right. If we step out, I mean, this is, I'm not just saying this because it's the first woman that actually broke it down. But I'm not going to take any credit away from her, but I'm going to say this much for real. No big one. I wasn't in DR, brother. I was just bullshitting. I wasn't out there. I was playing the joke on these other dudes, but I wasn't out there. But yeah, that's how men feel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We really do. Like we really, I mean, listen. Okay. You got your main woman. You're gonna love her in a way that that's a whole different type of love. That's just love, 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 love. That's my baby. That's my wife. I ain't doing it. Then you got your side situation that you feel.
Mhm.
You know, you're not in you're not, you could be polyamorous with her if that's how it started. But if it starts in the middle, you may have an issue, but you can't really say too much because, you know, she's not really your main joint. Then you have everything else around it. So you're like, you can go to a girl's house. I don't care. Masturbation won't do that shit. You know, you can go to a girl's house, have some good sex. First sex is always the greatest because it's new pussy. So that's
Mhm.
always going to be the greatest thing. And by the time he leaves her, he can go home and actually appreciate his wife or his woman a lot more. So in a strange, twisted way, us men, we didn't get a name for that shit. But they just call us no good ass niggas. But they haven't gave us this. So shout out to Jada for throwing that little bullshit name in there because I like that because I should have thought of something like that if and when I had a situation in the past.
Right.
So what I'm saying is and you also mentioned as far as responsibility, still could be responsible. I think what it is that society has such, and this is the part I can't stand, they have such a negative field or when it comes to what we do and how we do things. And I feel that women have a harder time expressing it. So a lot of us men, we live to pull it out.
Mhm.
Like let's see where it is. Like, yo, you think she's gonna do it? A lot of dudes don't have the luxury of seeing this porn world and seeing these dudes live their life. And that's why a lot of times they get frustrated because they're like, yo, I don't understand. I can't even a woman for my life that could even never let's bring her homegirl here, never let's get some pussy for the night. So they have a hard time with that. And one thing that you expressed that is so true is honesty. The key is it's honesty. And I think that's, no, nobody's doing what I'm doing on this channel. Why? Because I'm honest with the woman I work with. They're comfortable. And I know a lot of women, I know what they do. They go to Instagram, they check out, let me see who's working with them. Okay, if she did it, she did, then not that she's okay, right? that's, that's cool. I mean, I was recommended from a female to do that. So that's cool. But that's what it was. They want to see other women, how they work with you, as they see the videos, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That's cool. But again, that same research is education, right? So could you encourage, do the men, and you know in this lifestyle, me and you both know this is I tell these dudes all the time, there's no reason why you can't meet nobody. A lot of men are going out of the country
Mhm.
because they can't meet these, they call fantasy women, these encounters. They watching porn, they seeing all these incredible things, they seeing real people do this shit. Like these are regular looking motherfuckers. All these home videos, and they're like, fuck this, this shit ain't happening here.
Yeah.
Let me just go to another country and pay a prostitute to have sex with her, even though she doesn't speak English. You guys don't talk about that. Obviously, there's no option to go to another country to do this, and
No,
even for
you
the men.
No, like, I mean, honestly, when I think about like you saying that, and like, I'm just thinking like those Nigerian prince scams, honestly. Like for women, that's what it would probably wind up being. Like we'd be like, oh, we're gonna go meet this hot guy overseas, he's gonna fuck us, and then oh, he just took all my money.
Wow, that's true. So the woman, those are the women getting caught out there. They're going, but they're getting caught out under those circumstances. So that limits, well, they're limited because they can't find a good man here. But these guys can't find a woman to fuck them here. So they don't
Yeah.
want to pay nobody that's doing anything because they know the average price here. If they want to do some underground sex, is $500 or better. So a lot of these dudes feel, well, should I go to DR and pay $40, $50 to
Hmm.
interact and have this fucker pain? I get it. If you're in a listen, if you have a real terrible drought and you just want to go out there and get your shit off for 3-4 days, I get it. I do get that. But the reality is you're home. So you're here
Yeah.
in the United States. So, knowing that this is polyamory, are these groups bigger than we could imagine? In other words, what Will Smith and Jada is doing or have been doing or have done, is this bigger than them in the black, white, Hispanic community?
It's definitely a lot bigger. To me, I learned it's a lot bigger than I thought it was in the Black community. Because, like I said, I started following that Instagram page and the other groups, mainly catered towards Black people and people of color. And yeah, it put in perspective for me how much little representation there is for Black people. But definitely, I would say in general, it is a lot bigger than most people even really think it is. Like you probably have like an uncle or an aunt that also has like a girlfriend or a boyfriend that comes over, or like that family friend that's always been in the family
Right.
might be having sex with your uncle or aunt or your mom or dad.
Keep talking. There's another caller, but keep talking. Just keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger than anybody really, I think, knows unless you're really looking for it.
Okay, so fellas, no excuses. She doesn't live in DR. Okay, she doesn't live across the sea. She lives here in America on the damn East Coast. No fucking excuses. Um, can a man? Let's see. Let's take a couple of questions. So, Juicebox, do you attract more women or men?
Um, I would say I definitely attract more men, but I think that's because like I don't know if I put out a gay enough vibe for women to pick up that I'm into other women.
I don't think so.
So it's like they look at me and it's like unless I explicitly say like, oh yeah, I'm into women or I have a girlfriend, nobody really knows.
Well, the vibe that you could give off would be, who would I say a perfect example in the porno industry? You ever have a woman that's so sexual with men, but she's just a sexual woman?
Mhm.
That's what you remind me of. So that's a good thing. Like you don't necessarily strike me as you're just in the woman,
Yeah.
but you look like you're sexual. You can deliver to a woman just as good as you could give it to a man. That's what I pick up. So that's a good thing. Real brother said, could she love her dude so much she may slip up and scream his name when I smash? Won't bother me knowing the situation up front. There's some brothers is into it. I ain't gonna say all, but he said if he know up front that it's a cool thing for him. You know what I mean? I guess that's what you're saying. Shout out to Smooth Will. Shout out to Smooth Will. Shout out to Pablo Fresh Kabar. Um, shout out to Zaki. I appreciate that. That donation. I appreciate it. Juice and Nate, do you think legalized sex work will destroy dating? Hmm.
No, I think honestly it would help dating. Honestly. I think it would probably help teach a lot of guys that don't have a normal interaction with women or feel like they don't know how to normally interact with women. It would kind of give them a way to learn how to.
I agree. I think like we said, legalized sex work. Um, I feel that the men that are having such a hard time getting a mate, they may have a better response of the situation if they endure that somewhere. And this a lot of ways. I mean, there's so many tons of ways, especially on the internet. You know, OnlyFans to y'all is just new because y'all just heard about it since the pandemic. But I mean, I got people's that they've been just doing live things on the videos, and they got to be in front of a camera. And
Yeah.
before it was there was a whole bunch of sites, right? There's a whole bunch of pop-ups that go on.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All over.
You put
But
your
yeah,
credit card up. Tell them how you got in, tell them your little layout. Because a lot of men don't really know for those what OnlyFans is about. So just please give a lot of dudes who don't know because they don't subscribe or they haven't subscribed. But if the guys that subscribe know, because you can't see shit on OnlyFans unless you subscribe.
yeah, unless you subscribe or unless the person that runs there's also that option too.
The person that
But
went, the phone went out. Say it again.
if the person that has the page, like it's their page, they can also give out free trials to other members.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, usually it's like you said, there is the subscription ones where you have to pay to see the content. But then I've noticed a lot now that there are a lot of women that are doing free pages, but that's all of their censored content. So they might post like a sexy picture, but it's like plastered with emojis.
Oh shit, I hate that.
I know, and that's what I'm like. I'm like, like why not just show it?
Can't
Like
stand
or put a price on it and show it. Like if that's what
it.
you're gonna do anyway, just do it. Don't tease it, or go on Instagram and tease it because that's what Instagram's for.
Now, that's true because Instagram is the teaser for that. You're absolutely right about that. That's a good evaluation. Shout out to Zaki. I appreciate that. So the thing is, if you on OnlyFans, the fans need to know that don't know what OnlyFans is. Is it unlimited? Can you just literally do anything you want to do on that motherfucker in regards to sex?
As in regards to sex, it's all up to the content creator. Like, so I've had people ask me if I will meet up with them and have sex with them. I don't do that. I am not that kind of sex worker. I'm just more of like the model, and I like to
performer. She's a performer, ladies. And she's not a sex. She's not a prostitute.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But I'm sure there are people on there that do that. But if you're subscribed, like I said, you get access to whatever the person posts. And then also with me anyway, there are certain sets that are exclusive that I send out in messages that only certain fans can see.
To your fans?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just say you have a video. Can you and your man be fucking on OnlyFans?
Yes.
Oh, straight up. Okay, now how long is the video footage and stuff like that? Like, can you put up? Is there a maximum amount of time? Like, Instagram has like a minute.
So the max for if you're just doing it on like your timeline, I believe is about 17 minutes, 20 minutes.
What?
Because I've seen 17-minute videos posted up there.
17-minute. Damn, I didn't know it was that much. That's good.
Yeah, and then I would imagine in the messaging probably about like maybe 30 minutes. I think that's the longest that I've seen.
Okay, so you can do live content too?
Yeah, and you can go live on OnlyFans as well. But I've noticed when I've been live, I don't know if it's my internet connection or what it is. It's a little bit spotty. I think it's more of a new feature that they're still like getting all the bugs out of.
Yeah. You want that shit to be clear quality though, man. You don't want to fuck around. You want official quality because I'm telling you, I couldn't believe the amount of money as women is making money on this shit, man.
It's crazy.
They want to know what's your physical type when it comes to men and women?
So when it comes to men, I have this ongoing joke that I'm a sucker for scrawny white boys.
Oh shit! Get out of here. They showing a lot of scrawny dudes in these porns though.
I know, and I've noticed that too recently. I'm like, look at the representation.
Yeah, it's crazy. You don't see no big cop dudes or white dudes in no porn no more. Them days is done.
Yeah, and also like to me personally, anyway, when I like dudes with muscles too. Like I don't hate on that, but like when you have like the veins showing and stuff like that, I'm just like, I don't know, it makes my skin crawl. It almost looks like bugs are crawling in your skin to me. Like,
You see, man, a lot of women don't like that shit. See,
but as far as women, I'm just very open when it comes to women. Like, I think personally all women are beautiful. Doesn't matter necessarily what they look like.
shit, I'm agree with your ass on that one. What type of strap on does she use?
So I have it's just like a strap, like it's almost like a thong, and then I can interchange my dildo, so I can make them bigger, smaller. Right now, I only have one.
Does the strap on go to your clit thing where you could feel the sensation when you're screwing somebody else?
No, but it does. It goes basically like over my vagina.
Okay.
So when I'm thrusting, like it still like gives me a sensation, just not like right on my clit.
Oh, okay. So the sensation as you're delivering, you're getting the sensation on your special way as a woman
Yeah.
delivering with the strap on. Now you said they're interchangeable.
Yeah, so I can like if I wanted to use a smaller one, I have a different like ring that I can take out and then I can put the smaller one in it. Or if I have a bigger one, I can do that.
Oh shit, that shit is dope. That shit is interchangeable like my lenses on my damn camera. God
Yeah,
damn.
exactly.
I hear OnlyFans is not only limited to just sexual content. It's kind of like Patreon. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you
it
can go
is.
on there and just have a fan. There's a guy could just be loved, and I guess he could just smile or some shit. I mean, if you
Yeah,
got
I
all
mean
that.
it's really like so my the guy that does a lot of my pictures, he has his own OnlyFans where he just posts just photography of whatever he's taking pictures of. And then I've heard some like musical artists are on there, but I haven't really personally looked for any of them. But yeah, it's kind of like Patreon, but for the most part, all you usually see is just women naked. Though I am subscribed to one guy, and that's been interesting. It's been interesting seeing the guy's perspective of OnlyFans and what they post.
What are they posting? Just what does a guy post on OnlyFans?
From what I'm gathering, I mean, it's very much what you would think it is. It's just like, here's my dick. I'm stroking my dick.
Oh, okay. So they're doing that. Okay. But a
I've seen
motherfuckers
some
make
people do like edging and things like that too,
right.
which I know some people are into.
Mhm.
So,
Now edging, a lot of people would explain to them what edging is.
so it's basically you masturbate until you're like ready to come, and then you just stop. Basically, you get right there, and then you just stop.
Oh
It's
shit.
it's supposed to when you actually do come, it's supposed to like make the release that much more intense.
Right, because it's like pow.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah. That shit pops up. That's why these guys fuck their phones up. Came all over the motherfucker. Now this real brother just said, "Where are these men having a hard time getting women though? That's difficult to wrap my mind around it. Are we specifically talking simps with low self-esteem? It's difficult for you to wrap your mind around it because you don't have that problem. It doesn't apply to you, brother. We don't, you know what I mean? That's just that simple. No disrespect. Caught the show late. Her name is Juicebox. Wow. Yes, her name is Juicebox, but we still in the midst of producing her. So you'll see a lot more, but I will have her OnlyFans in the description. And for those that support OnlyFans, I want you to support her without a doubt. And if you don't support it, then you don't support it. It's just that simple. Shout out to Smooth. I would think that women in these countries are hip to all the men going to the thrills growing. The prices go up, and attitude is more Americanized. Possibility. Larry Pierre says we need to be honest that sex is not love, and this is clearly impact relationships. It's a social perspective.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
sex doesn't necessarily mean love. It doesn't have to. It can. And personally, I feel like if you're gonna have sex, like if you're having sex for the first time, it definitely should be with somebody that you love or at least are super, super, super comfortable with.
Super comfortable. Could you go to would you ever be cool to go to a lifestyle party? Like, this let me tell you something. Florida's big with this shit, but there's a lot of shit happening in the tri-state. I told you that earlier. Um, would you be comfortable, of course, without the COVID situation, to actually going to um a lifestyle party and
Yeah, I've
really
I've actually been to a lifestyle party twice.
okay.
Um,
Tell us about it. Before I get started, I want y'all to understand this right now. Um, I know a guy that actually DJs these parties, and he invited me one day. His girl was there. Unfortunately, he had an issue with the girl dancing up on me. So every time he's DJing, he's dancing with us, and I'm like, "Yo, if this is what is a lifestyle party, dude, I don't understand it." So once we seen what was going on downstairs, I mean, one of the most wild experiences I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Could you explain to them, without giving the name of these sites? You don't have to give the name of the sites at all, but tell them exactly what a lifestyle party is about and what we're talking about here.
So lifestyle parties, usually, at least the ones I've been to, they're very kink based, usually BDSM type stuff. But it's a very open place. Usually it's, from my experience, it's usually by like a private invitation to these kinds of parties. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just, if I were to really describe like a lifestyle party, it's a very eye opening place. It's very like, you definitely have to be comfortable in yourself, and then you also have to be comfortable, of course, with the idea of seeing somebody else naked.
Yeah, well, they think it's this thing where you go and you dance, and next thing you know, you pick the girl and you could screw her in the back, and it's like that. Is it?
Oh yeah, no.
Can you tell them?
No, 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 no. It's nothing like that. Not that I've been to anyway.
Right.
Um, but no, it's just like, I would say it's just like going to any other party, really. Like, you go, you meet people, you kind of like get a feel for them, and then you ask them, like, you basically ask for consent. Like, I know some people do what they call scenes. So it's like, would you consent to doing a like whipping scene with me?
Right.
Things like that.
This is BDSM parties though, mostly, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I can see you. I can see you doing that. So now with the beat, now you would actually approach. You would be in there chilling and actually get the consent and ask the couple this, or you just see a random like singles. Like, in other words, do you stay away from singles, or they got to be in
No,
couple?
no, it's basically like you just kind of ask. You don't have to stay away from anybody. It's just kind of like, you just ask people, be like, are you into this? Or like just in general conversation. Because usually most of the conversations wind up being about like sex or your kink or anything anyway.
Right.
And then there's always just a lot of fun toys and things laying around. So that kind of gives you an excuse to like,
Right.
if you, because like, so with my experience, someone had saw me like checking out the whips and things like that, and so
Right.
they were like, oh, are you into this? And they were like, yeah, I practice this and whatever. And so then they were like, would you like to do a scene with me? So then we just went from there.
Now the scene, that's basically another way of saying an episode. Like, let's
Yeah.
go in. Oh, it's right in the premises.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now, do y'all take a swig, a drink, or anything before you go, or to each his own?
It's whatever you want to do. Like, if you want to be sober, you can be sober. If you want to be tipsy, lit, whatever.
Now nobody's holding phones or nothing like that. Can you? It doesn't matter.
No, nobody's holding phones now.
Okay,
Like some places, I know they take your phone in the beginning because
that's
they
good.
don't want you to, like, of course, do pictures or anything like that.
Right.
Um, but no, as long as like, is from my experience, as long as you don't take your phone out, like, there's no issue. Unless
Wow.
you're like, oh, I got a phone call, you got to run upstairs.
Wow. Shout out to Jack 3CD. I appreciate that donation. This is incredible. So if they come to you and say, listen, a guy said, listen, I want to be, what's the word that you always say when you put the guy down? Like you know,
Dominated,
yeah,
dominatrix.
dominate you. I want to be dominated. I want to be treated. What do you tell the guy? Do you tell him, get on the floor, you piece of shit? Or does he does he request it, or you just know what to say? Like, does a guy sometimes want the heel on his balls and shit, or to spank him? And what is the most not necessarily the most wildest thing, but what is common?
um, so yeah, I mean, kind of what you described. Like, someone could approach you, like a guy could approach me and be like, hey, like, I want to be dominated. And then my question would be like, okay, well, how does that look for you? And then basically like establishing a safe word after that. Um, some people have like a specific fantasy where like they're like, oh, I want you to be my boss and pretend like I messed up a paper or something like that, or like some people are like, oh, I want you to be my teacher. I want you to be like my babysitter, like just all kinds of stuff.
What? Oh shit. The babysitter shit. You talking about thumbing them out, goo goo gaga straight up? Oh
If
shit.
that's what they're into.
Yo, I tell you, man, but it's unlimited. It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. It's all up to whatever you're comfortable with. And if I wasn't, I'd be like, sorry, I'm not. And then from there, if I knew somebody that might be into that, I'd be like, hey, maybe you might want to talk to them. I'll introduce you.
Now, you wouldn't just bring one of your straight homeboys to a BDSM party because, as a spectator, would he be able to endure himself, or because he's there, or he has to legit? Like, in other words, how do you validate that you are part of these certain things that's presented to you? Like, what kind of, what kind of credentials do you have to pretty much show? You just the credential you being there?
Um, usually your credential is usually whoever is bringing you.
Okay.
So usually it's like you kind of have to know somebody in my experience anyway, you have to know somebody in the lifestyle, and then they kind of like get you into the parties and things like that. Or even I've seen people like meet online and they become friends on there, and then that's how they wind up going to parties together.
Shit, shout out to Abby Jackson. They want to know. Abby Jackson wants to know, how long have you been on OnlyFans for?
Um, honestly, not that long. It's
We're still putting it together.
yeah, it's still a work in progress.
Don't be thinking that you're gonna be subscribing to her page now. Yeah, she's been on. I could talk shit. She knows what OnlyFans is for, and that shit can explode real quick. Believe me.
But yeah, I've only been on there. I want to say it's been about 4 months now,
Okay.
give or take.
Well, that's a lot. Believe it or not, that's probably the biggest rush in the last 4 months, because that pandemic fucking exploded this. But now the thing is, a lot of people feel that, in the sex trade, as far as, have you ever danced?
No, I've never danced.
Okay, so they feel that a lot of adult dancers are on OnlyFans as well. I know a lot of, believe it or not, I know 2 adult dancers don't even dance no more. They don't dance anymore, but they are they're not dancing, but they're working regular jobs, but this is what they're doing as well. They're making a lot of money in that shit, man. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe the figures. Y'all need to do, let me tell you something. Y'all need to do the research on what people are making on this fucking OnlyFans, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Says the new pimp game. They're watching their drug dealer boyfriends because cash pays a kind of cash. And you want to answer that?
What was it? They're watching the drug dealer.
It's hard to answer that one.
It's hard to answer that. I mean, it's just very to me anyway. What I'm looking more so, I guess, to provide to guys, since I'm not prostituting myself, is more of a personalized experience.
I'm surprised that thing's not talking about DR. I'm down here in DR now. I'm living here. I moved here 3 days ago, so actually 2 days. So I'm living in DR, and we talked about it already. So there you go. You feel a lot better. Jack's 3CD says, I heard there's certain terms like bull or sub. Is that true?
The BDSM?
Yeah.
I personally have never heard the term bull. I mean, I'm sure it is a term because it sounds like something I would hear there. But yeah, definitely there's of course, there's subs, doms, switches, tops, bottoms, all kinds of stuff like that.
Can you say that in a nutshell, is everybody a freak?
Yeah, I think in some way, shape, or form, everybody's a freak in their own way. You could be, and it's always to me, it's up for interpretation as well. Because okay, say I'm an ultra super conservative Christian. For me, getting freaky could be doggy style. So.
Right. That's a good one. So no matter what, it's something.
Yeah, there's always something.
We just don't want, there's certain people in our lives we just don't want to ever picture even having sex.
Yeah, that is a fact. There are certain people that I wish I didn't even know had sex.
I came here on a stork. I don't care what nobody says. Hey, there are people thinking about going to DR. What should we all do? Don't even bother answering this jerk because I don't even know who this is. This is clearly a damn troll. So you're on the wrong channel, bro. You need to go to ask your boy, what's his name? Taylor Made Dreams. Don't ask me that shit because I'm not going to tell you nothing about it because all the pussies here in America. Excuse my French.
It's
Um,
okay.
Shout out to Pablo Frescobar. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. So let me ask you something. Is she submissive or dominatrix?
Um, so I would say when it comes to males, I'm typically sub. Um, I think that has more so to do kind of like with, I don't want to blame it on society, but I feel like it's kind of like society like has kind of ingrained in my brain that women are supposed to be like submissive and weak and gentle and fragile and stuff like that. But I have dominated a few men, and it's been a fun experience. It's opened my eyes.
You dominated some brothers too?
Yeah, only a couple, like only a couple, and they've been people I've been really comfortable with letting that side of myself out with. But when it comes to women, that's where I find I'm definitely way more aggressive, way more
Oh shit!
dominant.
So let me ask you something. When you're done, when you're submissive, well, if you ever was dominatrix to a man, does he come off of that? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Like a man could bust a nut over you being dominating to him?
Yeah, I've made guys pre-cum being dominating.
Oh shit. Wow, that's fun. Again, OnlyFans, I'm gonna have it in the description, ladies and gentlemen. So please, this video is gonna be up the minute we are off air. I'm gonna post it up.
So I'm laughing because I'm reading this comment. She uses her man's genitals like a box.
Is it possible to do this and have a relationship with someone? Yes, she's a can you say the word?
I'm polyamorous.
Okay. She is polyamorous. So if you need to know what that is, we discussed it a few times, but basically that's to answer your question. In order to have to be polyamorous, polyamorous is to have a relationship with someone and being able to do this openly. Openly, that's the key because she's saying, if that changes. Shout out to my man Rob Carr. I see you there, brother.
Yeah,
Guys,
before I even started my OnlyFans, honestly, I ran it by my partner first. I was like, "What do you think about this?" Like I said, it's about you got to be open, you got to be honest, you got to communicate.
okay, so when you're out, let's just say, are you able to show him, wow, or you just keep it, like how do you, when you're attracted to another man, to tell another man is straight, he doesn't care. So,
Mhm.
you know, but then again, you have to tell him because you're polyamorous. So how do you do that? Like you're in
Um,
Walmart and you're walking around and you and him are shopping. Like, what do you say?
Usually, like if I find another guy that's attractive, I don't usually. I've never been one to really like verbalize it anyway. Um, because I've never really been into catcalls personally. So I'm like,
Right,
why would I want to do that to somebody else?
right.
But as far as like, I would say there's been times where I have brought it up, but usually like it's gonna sound funny, but usually like when it's like a really pretty guy, like if this dude's like looking real pretty and he has like nice clothes on, he's well put together, I'm like, why does he look so fly? I'm like, like you said, I'm like, he's in Walmart. Why is he trying so hard to look so good?
But meanwhile, you're attracted to that. I mean, attracted to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go outright and say it because it's not like it's something I'm gonna act upon. Now,
Okay.
if it was something that I was gonna act upon, then I'd be like, oh, he's really attractive. I think I want to go up and talk to him.
That's actually a pretty smooth way you did that shit, though. Just, why is he dressed like that? And you know what? Come to think of it, man, I had those comments happen. That's some smooth shit right there. So what would he say? Like, yeah, he's probably ODing. He's dressed a little over, you know. He's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, or like sometimes you'd be like, do you think I would look good in like in something like that? Like asking for more fashion advice, I would say then.
We feel that with women, when we walk around, men, we think of the most triple X rated shit. We be like, damn, I want to put my face in the ass, and damn, I could eat this one right there on the cash register. Do you ever look at a guy and be like, not expressing it to him, because obviously you don't say it that way, but you ever say to yourself, like, damn, I would give him head. If he just knew, I just would have given him head right there on the spot. Like, do y'all think like that? Or being polyamorous, do you think like that
Oh yeah.
sexually? Okay.
I thought about that before I was even before I even identified as polyamorous. Like I usually I do that if I'm like with my friends or if I'm alone. I'll kind of express it more.
Right.
Like the other day, like I was getting gas and the gas station attendant, because I was in Jersey and the gas station attendant, he was super cute. And I was just like, oh, I was like, why are you so cute? I'm like, what? So I get all high pitched and stupid.
And he had no fucking clue.
No, he had no idea. He was just like, oh,
He had
like,
no idea what was on your
have a
mind.
nice day. Yeah.
See, we that's amazing. That's a gift that women could only do. That shit's so even with that could have been just like some cutesy shit, like, oh, look at you. But meanwhile, your shit is totally in the damn X-rated mode.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope how you did that. He says you like punching guys like Chung Lee. Guys, oh yeah, shout out to Rob Carr, man. This one is a real one. Guys moved to DR and changed his name to Jose Nathaniel Rodriguez. It's really bad. They changed. See, this is the thing. They're gonna have their opinion on how I think, but at the end of the day, I mean, everything is here, and if it's not here, it's in the UK. If it's not in the UK, it's in Russia. No matter what, this is what I bring to you. I mean, I got almost 4,000 videos, so thank God it's working. So just learn. Don't you know what I mean? Enough is enough. Like, I'm telling you that you can do these things here in the tri-state area or the West Coast or the Midwest. It's living proof. She's here. You know, this is just one example of 10 billion women in the world. So you guys got to fucking wake up. Stop buying that cheap pussy overseas. You don't got to do that. I heard a lot of cops like mistresses to beat them and degrade them.
I have not had any cops, but I would have some fun with that one.
You would have fun with them, right? Oh my God. I think the worst thing I've had, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so there's this young lady I knew. She was a dominatrix, and she probably had to do the worst thing I've heard yet. Now, you don't have to say you do this just to not turn off your fans that we're trying to get to. But I want to know, how in the fuck could this even be something to get somebody off? I want you to explain it just from if you heard about it. So anyway, this one woman I know, gorgeous, half white like you, she said that a guy wanted him to defecate on the glass table. What? I'm trying my best because I've been meaning to ask this question. Other than her, is this something that's also a common thing? Not common. I would say, have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. Like, so I have the type of friends that like to send really fucked up videos, the kind that like make you scream and like want to wash your eyes out with bleach.
Yeah. Gotta do like that.
So I've seen some videos of like people, like you said, defecating on tables, defecating on other people,
in their mouth, all types of shit.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So I mean, it's common for some people, but it's not for me.
So that's a request you're not doing.
No, like that. If somebody's gonna request something like that, they have to be willing to pay me major money.
One dude told me, and it was kind of weird because I didn't really know this guy, but he kind of started getting into it. And you know, when I catch people in a roll, I don't want them to get out of that. So I'm like, let me just listen. He said what it was, and this is some crazy shit. He said the reason what turned him on, he was into seeing things pop out of a butt. What other things going to pop out of a butt is a thing. So in other words, he likes to see a marble pop out. Anything that
that's what I was going to
turns him on. So he was trying to make the light of it. I don't know if he's into it, but he said basically he could see if somebody is into that because it's the mode of seeing the asshole at work. That's basically, he was trying to give me a layout for me to understand without me judging him.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I can like, I don't personally, I don't kink shame anybody. Like if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Now, am I going to express that I think that's gross? Yes, because I can't, like, if I see somebody defecating in someone's mouth, I'm going to scream. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. But
Even if they're giving you 20 racks.
yeah, but even there was something that I saw sometime last year I saw um and it was about kinks and stuff like that, and I learned that there are people that have kink of having eggs laid inside them, like alien eggs,
Right.
and like having them pop out of them. So
See? Yeah, yeah. See?
each their own.
Yeah, okay. That's crazy. It's just okay. So I don't want to say I get it, but we get it. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
we just because we get it don't mean we get it.
Yeah, it
Juice
doesn't mean we're with
don't mean we with you. There you go.
it.
Juice box. So what are your favorite male and female celebrities that you first personally find hot? One or two.
um so personally, for female, I've always had a crush on like Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Mm.
Always had a crush on her. And for men, I don't know. It always changes with men. Like my list is always like fluctuating. Right now, Donald Glover is at the top of my list.
Really? Okay. So do you find any street rap dudes, any street type of looking dudes in the game that you find that you're attracted to?
Not really that I can think of, because I mean that's just my personal preference. That's not really a style that I'm into.
Right.
Um, and I think that's because of I think that stems from my family and how I saw my family act, and it just kind of became a whole like turn off for me.
Okay, so that's another topic we're going to get into. That we're going to get into another topic. I got to make sure I jot that. Make sure I jot that down because I want to get deep on that. But that's a different one. Okay, so she's going to be leaving out here soon. This is exclusive. Again, let's see. She probably got him in a cage, or somebody got him in a cage. Oh, they talk about the disgusting, the doo-doo shit. Yeah, I know. Reginald just sent me a text. He said, "How much to pee on?" Reginald
Oh
is the
my
guy
god.
who was getting on. It's crazy. So, we want to find out. Okay, so can they follow you? Is your Instagram under construction, or can they follow you on there? I think she's still working on her Instagram. Just follow her to her OnlyFans, straight up.
Yeah, I mean my Instagram, I would say it definitely has like a lot of, like I said, more of a tease. It's more of an implied kind of stuff. But I'm still, like you said, I'm still working on exactly the kind of stuff that I'm posting on there. But my OnlyFans definitely has a lot more of my attention right now. So yeah, so my OnlyFans is it's actually at It's Me, Ya Baby, if if that makes any sense. But that's also my Instagram too, if you guys do want to follow my Instagram as well. Like I said, it still is under construction, but you're more than welcome.
Text that to me. Text the thing so I can add it in there. All right, so that's the main thing here. I just want you guys to support. I think for the overview to, this is probably the first woman that I've shared on YouTube in regards to the OnlyFans. So if you want to watch her and support and see what OnlyFans is about, this is the best way to do it. How much is the rates? Could you tell them what's the minimum rate you can do on OnlyFans, or you can do whatever you want on there? Is it weekly, monthly? How does that go?
So it's usually a monthly subscription. Right now I have it set up to I have it set up that it is $11.99 for my OnlyFans. Um, I was just running a promo. I was planning on running another one eventually for a discounted rate on that. But yeah, for right now it's $11.99, and then you get access to pictures, videos, and then I also, like I said, I send exclusive stuff just to my fans that like tip me and stuff through messages.
I heard about that. They tipped through the message. That's dope. So you can actually say their name.
Yeah, they show up, their name shows up, whatever their username is. So yeah, so I can actually pick out who sends me tips and who doesn't.
So listen, y'all, listen to me, y'all. Cause see, I work with a lot of people that's behind the scenes of this. This is the first one openly. So I'm gonna support her and promote her as well. So don't call me with no Instagram shit unless you are going to her OnlyFans. Just go straight to it. That way, is it $11.99 a week or a month?
It's a month.
Okay, so shit. The fuck, that shit is
like Disney Plus.
Yeah, literally.
But with titties.
Yeah, literally with titties. um, another thing I want to see before you leave, is the goal. What is the goal on porn or in the porno industry of the actual um what you call it that you're gonna fall under the category? What category are
Um,
you looking to fall under?
right now, I think I'm gonna stick with amateur for a while.
Mhm.
But I do want to expand. Like I said, I'm very much into cosplay, so I think I might go into like the role playing kind of cosplay type stuff too. And I have some ideas in my head for like,
That cop shit will be dope.
yeah,
Yo, I got a dope idea about that. I'll tell you offline. Whoa. I'm surprised nobody's doing that now.
yeah. I mean, it's like some people are, but it's like I said, for some reason, it's just all this other stuff that people are into, like all this basic stuff.
Yeah, the basics. So even as a female, you see that there's a lot of shit that's just kind of watered down, like just kind of basic and corny.
Yeah, it's just kind of like so. Like personally, I usually like to watch like porn that involves rough sex, and
Right.
so I'm like, okay, like yeah, she's getting her back blown out. Sure, she's moaning like crazy, but it's like there's no, I don't know. I don't even want to say that I'm necessarily looking for a story, but I'm looking for something to catch my attention.
And you want to be able to deliver that attention by you being the one producing that.
Yes.
That's fucking dope. Um, can people? So when we have these videos on our phones, can we just load that shit onto Pornhub? Is it that easy, or is it a little more deeper than that?
I think it's a little bit more deeper than
It is, right?
that. Yeah.
Because a lot of people want to, there's people out here, there's couples that I know that kind of want to make their money with their boyfriends or girlfriends, and they want to do what they do. But you could do it. It's just a little more involved in that.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of like as far as when you're posting stuff, especially for couples, I would say there's a lot more legality to it, especially if you're not married.
right.
So you definitely consent, get it written down, everything.
Now, last but not least, could they find you? Could they find you with Juicebox J? And if they did try to find you, is it just OnlyFans, or you don't want anybody even going to another source? Like, how would they go about this? Because everybody's trying to punch in your name right now.
Right. If they want to find me on Pornhub, they can. Right now, it's really there are some things on there that I have posted just on like my timeline in for my OnlyFans. But a lot of the exclusive stuff, especially the videos, are more on my OnlyFans.
Okay, so they could go to Pornhub through your OnlyFans.
Yeah, and you can also access my OnlyFans and my Instagram from my Pornhub as well.
See, brother, you just can't go to straight pro. I like that. I like that. Yes, that's true. Shout out to the Capricorn way. We definitely got me on the production side, but we definitely working it. In the meantime, you're gonna see a lot of J. Trust me, a lot of her, and a lot of guys too are willing to find out if there's situations. Would you be able to give some advice to a lot of these men that are having problems? The females too, the men and women for relationships. Excuse me, sexual advice, how to spike up the bedroom, and personal shit that people may go to. Would you be willing to do that every now and then to discuss with these entertainers? Excuse me, entertainers. Would you be able to talk to these these subscribers in regards to giving them some advice on sex?
Yeah, that was something that I kind of like I thought about the sexual positivity. That's another thing that I'm really like I'm trying to kind of get out there. Like especially for women, it's okay to be sexual. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Um and so yeah, I mean giving advice that was something that I was interested in and to like kind of give it I guess more of a personal perspective because I'm no expert, I'm no like sex therapist.
Right.
Um but yeah, I mean for me like I don't know. There are still even parts of myself, like things that I'm like that kind of turn me on that
Right.
I'm still like exploring and experimenting with and seeing how deep I want to go into it. So it's just kind of like know yourself and then try to bring it to your partner. That's something I would say as far as spicing things up. Know what you like and then try to bring it out.
What would you do if a man is with a woman and she likes anal sex, but he doesn't want to do it for something like that. He doesn't want to do it, but that's what she's into. Like, what would you suggest? Because I know that's a shipwreck about to happen. Because you're
Yeah.
definitely gonna fucking go get it. So,
Well, I mean, if he's not into it, like, I guess it would be more so you gotta figure out why you're not into it,
right.
and then see if that's a boundary that you're willing to maybe like bend a little bit. Like, so personally, like I was very adamant about not being into like anal or any kind of butt stuff. And then one day
You're not into anal.
I'm dabbling in it.
Okay. Okay.
But so when I thought I really was not into it, my boyfriend decided to incorporate a finger into the bedroom, into my ass. And
Right.
I was just like, at first I was like, whoa. But then I was like, you know what, this actually ain't half bad.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's pretty much. But then you know what do you think about a guy? Because you know, if a dude feels the same way, and if you did that to him, wouldn't you consider the guy to be? Can a guy still be straight and want that request? Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
undercover freak dudes that's out here that don't know how to ask these questions. So I got tons of questions in the future I'm going to ask, but that's one of them. Can a guy still ask a girl to do that and still be straight?
Yeah. I would say that still makes you straight. I mean, if you're not interested in a man doing that or somebody of the same sex, then I don't see how that could. I mean, yeah, you might feel gay, but it doesn't make you gay if that's what you like. I mean, the male G spot is in the anus, so it's like you don't know
Now,
what you guys could be missing a lot. You just don't know.
what happens if your man says, "Hey, take one of them strap-ons and put them on me"?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm like, because I had, when I was younger, one of my first boyfriends, I had, part of it was I was messing with him and to see what he would say. But then when he gave me his answer, I was like, oh, wait, maybe I'm actually into that. So I had asked him that. I was like, if we get married, can I peg you, basically?
Oh
And
shit!
he was,
What do you call that? Peg?
yeah, peg. And so I was like, would you let me peg you? And he was like, I don't know. Let me, like, that's something I got to think about. I don't know. That's kind of weird. And then, like, a couple of days later, he came back and he was like, you know what? He was like, if that's what you're into, he's like, yeah, I guess I could try it at least once for you.
Oh man.
So I was kind of like, oh, first I was like, oh, he really loves me. He's going to let me, like, take his booty virginity.
See how y'all look at everything. Y'all look at everything as, you know, a woman looks at, wow, oh wow, it's deep. Now a straight guy's gonna be like, oh, what the fuck you talking? I ain't putting that shit in. But he said he'll if that's what you're into, and this is what you know, I support you. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
And you really take that as support, like love, right?
Yeah, I take that as just like you said, support and love. It's just like, okay, I know you're into this. I might not be, but I'm willing to try. And then if he tried and was like, this ain't for me, I'd be like, okay, but I appreciate you trying. That effort, you put in effort. That's basically what it is.
Put an effort. See that? I know you're asking her what's her Pornhub username, but she's not giving that up now because you would have to go to OnlyFans and take it from there. What does it mean, peg? Okay, Abby Jackson, here. Explain to them what peg means.
So pegging is basically when you have a female, or I guess it could be a male, but basically when you're a male and you're having sex with somebody that has a strap on or somebody that has a penis, basically when you're having sex, anal sex. Like I'm trying to like dance around it, and now I'm just like, it's just anal sex, basically. Like when you're a dude and you're having anal sex.
Give a man a round of applause, man. Listen, don't put the brother down, man. It's a white dude, right? He's still a brother, man. Shit, we all black and white out here, man. But he wanted to support his woman, to each his own, right? He wanted to support you, and I respect that, man. He wanted to support you, man.
Yeah, I'm not with him anymore, but still.
Okay.
Still love him. Still have love in my heart for him.
No, hold on. What did you do? Did you dump him after he got paid? What did you do? Like, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You piece
No.
of shit.
No.
That's why I had your ass, motherfucker. Get out of here. Oh shit! But your man, he is your current man though is supportive though, right? He's supportive. He knows that you're trying to do your thing.
Yeah, he's supportive. Like I said, I keep him in the loop. He gets to see everything before I even post anything. So usually I show him, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Bring that over."
Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Back up. Usually usually what to him?
So I usually send him anything before I send it out onto the internet.
Oh shit! He gets all that? That's dope.
And even the goofy, unedited stuff, he gets all that too.
Okay, that's dope. So now, apparently, once he clears that, you guys, I mean, you got some exclusive content on OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Without giving too much information, what could they expect for this $11.99 a month on Jay's OnlyFans?
So
I mean, is it great jerk off material, basically?
I would like to think it is right now. Like it's still, like I said, I'm still very much kind of like new to it. So it's kind of like right now what you're watching, I would say more so is me adjusting to the camera.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still trying to be sexy, of course, but like if I look a little nervous or whatever, or if I look like I'm overthinking, it's probably because I am. But but no, I mean, there is full nudity on there. There's me masturbating on there. I mean, I've sent to my fans, I've sent pictures of me giving head to my partner. So, I mean, it's really, it's just like whatever you guys want to see for custom content. Like, that's what I would say it's mostly for. It's for me to connect with people, give them their custom content. It's just right now nobody's really requesting anything, so I'm just kind of going off the fly.
They will. They will. It's coming. It's the great thing that I adore about Jay is that she's intelligent. She actually has a brain, and the reason why I say this is because she has talents to do a lot of things. She could be an author, she could be a sex therapist, she can be all the above. So do understand I'm going to bring all that out, and we're going to bring things out of each other. I mean, hey, wait, we ain't bringing all that shit out of each other. Damn it. Let me say this shit right now.
Put it out there.
We gonna got it. Whatever I tell her, then once he sees, he's gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, he's right, and it's gonna just work out. But that's the great thing, and we do appreciate you here. So of course you're gonna have a lot of exclusive talent, a lot of exclusive content on, and it's growing. I think it's growing as well. How tall are you? Give them a little layout. How tall are you?
So I'm 5'5".
Okay. Oh, you actually kind of got some height on you then. I didn't know you was that tall. Okay, so 5'5". You do understand. You have pretty feet too, so you do understand that there's a feet fetish thing that you may have to slip in on there. That shit's huge.
Yeah. I've been trying to take better care of my feet. Not that they weren't being taken care of before, but now I'm definitely more conscious of my feet.
Yeah, the feet thing is serious. You got listen. People don't understand. It's your presentation on your feet. And now with the past 4 months, a lot of women had to learn how to do shit at home. But I will tell you this, that's definitely some things that people are going to want to see in that shit too. So a lot of them little undercover freaks that don't want to say this shit on here, I'm telling you right now, I got a foot fetish, so I know this personally. But
yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing a little. I'm kind of like expanding my own, the stuff I like, and thinking about what other people like as well, and trying to make people think like, okay, like maybe it's okay that I'm into that. Like, because I do have a picture, full disclosure, on my OnlyFans of me with my strap on.
Right.
Some dudes that are into that. There are some dudes that aren't. But I mean, I won't know if I don't know.
There's some dudes that want to see you with a strap on.
Mm-hmm.
They requested that.
No, just like from my own personal experience with talking with people that I know.
Oh, okay, okay.
I know that there are people out there that are into that.
Oh, right. The same way how I told you about the feet shit. I got you. Okay. So with with that being said, this you got to basically whatever you notice so many different requests, but you to specialize. You are a half breed. You are a interracial. You are all of these categories that come up in the porn industry. Physically beyond amateur, what would you specify? Like, could a man, could we look under red bone, or will we look under interracial, or will we look under Latina? What would you represent more if you had to choose one of those three categories? What would it be? What would be the one that you would actually choose?
So I've been choosing interracial. That's just really kind of just always been my thing. Like ever since I was little, I've been the Oreo, the zebra, the panda, like all this like mixed match,
Right.
white and black type stuff. So I'm just like, let's just roll with the interracial.
Interracial is, I agree, I'm 100% on it. I think that's the best category in porn, bar none, the best. And the women that are bigger, BBW is probably the second best because BBW is basically interracial. It's kind of weird. It's weird. Like interracial now doesn't mean a white guy with a black woman or a Latin woman, or more strictly everything else with a black guy. It's crazy. Yeah. So this is great. So we listen, fellas, I know you guys want to know 1,000 questions. Like I literally got 2 more minutes here. This woman got things to do. Okay, she got content to make. You understand? So she got shit to do.
Yeah, I got stuff I'm working on.
Yeah, look, see, OnlyFans with stress, white Billy, you losing this spot. The reality is, can you let the people know, for women that want to get into OnlyFans, is there an inspiring, like in other words, from another woman, would you be able to tell women out here or tell the people what is the goal with a sexuality? Is it something that should be expressed, or is it something that you should hide?
But it's definitely, I would say it's definitely not something you should hide. It's not something that you have to display like a big, like red S on your chest or anything like that. But you should definitely be comfortable enough to express it when you feel the need to.
That's a good thing. I could take that. All right, before we leave, you could shoot me a couple of questions. You if anybody's joining in right now, we just did 2 hours of this, and again, we are pretty much just putting out this new thing that a lot of people don't know about the whole situation about OnlyFans, and this is something for you to check out exclusively. I think it's worth definitely the $11.99. I thought it was per week, but $11.99 a month. Check it out. I think it's something for you, and I think when you check it out, you may stay subscribed. You understand? Excuse me, you will stay subscribed. Shout out to my other homegirl. She pushed me to a subscription with this magazine, and I'm like, listen, I'll give you 1 month now, and then shit keeps coming to my damn email. Does that happen with OnlyFans? That it just automatically goes into the credit card, or does it give you a reminder that we're pulling the money out?
So it will give you a reminder when your subscription is about to be up. But as far as like if it charges your card by itself, that's its own feature. So when you sign up for it and you put in your credit card information, you can push a button that says reoccurring payment or not. So you can choose if you want to just do it for a month and then that's it, or if you want it to just be a recurrent thing.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so you don't even have to have a 12-month subscription. 1 month is good enough.
Yeah.
But they're not going to want just 1 month.
No, hopefully not.
That's okay. So we know that already. All right. So let's take her out of here. So listen, what questions could you shoot me? Shout out to Carlos Winslow. Yeah, he's just joining in right now. Does she need a manager for OnlyFans? No, she doesn't need a manager for OnlyFans. I think she's doing pretty well with that. And if she does have a manager, you would never know that, because then that manager would get the credit. So,
I appreciate the offer though.
yeah, she appreciates the offer. Shout out to Papa Fresh Cabal.
But I guess I want to ask you, I guess, your perception of OnlyFans and like the content on there. Like, do you think it's just going to be a passing thing? Do you think it's going to be a long running, successful platform?
I think it's going to be a successful platform, and it's going to be long running until something else happens. In other words, Instagram and Facebook we didn't think we would have them around this long, and because they're still improvising. As long as OnlyFans keeps improvising, it will work out good. Now, this doesn't mean some of these people putting, underage girls and shit on there like that and stuff like that. That's what will fuck up the whole platform, and it's going to be in the same situation how y'all made this into a prostitution site like they did with Backpage and Craigslist, et cetera, et cetera. So as long as it doesn't do that, it will go in a great direction. I personally like what happened on OnlyFans because I feel that it's a different alternative for the woman to be expressive with what they can share that is clearly legal on, whether it's Pornhub or anything like that. In regards to that, anything past that, you know what I mean? Like I said, no underage crazy shit and animals and all that. But I feel that the woman can embrace that part, and hey, if the men are paying, let them fucking pay. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. And I don't look at it any less. And anybody will tell you, like, if a dude feels like, okay, well, they ask the question, well, what do you think about OnlyFans versus a porn site? I'm like, listen, if you have, there's some of these OnlyFans girls with these Instagram chicks, they got 5-10 million followers, so they could charge whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the men need to subject themselves to a Pornhub when there's no type of connection with the individual. Now that I've learned, and I'm not going to just give this credit to things I learned, some things I knew prior to today because I did my research literally yesterday. But today I've learned that, you got the tip situation. So she said that you could still send them tips. And some guys will be like, well, yo, Nate, that's just some bullshit. You telling dudes a trick. It's not that you telling the dudes a trick. The reality is that most guys don't have the luxury of having a woman that's able to send them dirty pictures, we call them back in the day, or video. A lot of dudes, you may think in your mind that you have this, this creation of this thought of a porn, and the woman's looking at you and you're looking at a porn and she's looking in your face, but it's still a fantasy. I feel the great thing about OnlyFans, the fact that if there's a connection where you could send to your certain subs that subscribe to you a personal thing, and the woman is letting it be known that it's personal, like she called a motherfucker's name, it's a good alternative for such a pandemic that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely the safer alternative for now. I mean, I would not tell y'all to go out there and be fucking everybody now with a pandemic and mask in your face. However, I did my research on it, and I think I think the future for OnlyFans could really go if they don't fuck it up. And that's really the bottom line. And if there's anything that's going to come out better than that, it's just going to be better than that. But I tell you this much, OnlyFans since March of 2020 has been out of control, insane. This shit has been hitting. So it's going strong. And I think a lot of men want to learn. Oh, what do you say? So Nate, you saying OnlyFans is better than going to DR? It's not the fact of going to DR when you're talking about a real woman you're fucking. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't tell you to go to DR now, number one, because it's just played the fuck out. Y'all done ran through everything now. There's only 4 and 5s walking out there selling pussy for $40, number one. Number two, I would not encourage to go to DR to buy prostitutes during a pandemic. You know what I mean? So if you really want to get your shit off, OnlyFans is the better alternative. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of you jerking off for porn for free, and there's nothing personal, you're seeing the same video over and over again. If you got your woman, boom. Listen, if any man has the luxury of a woman FaceTiming him, and a lot of dudes can't relate to this shit. Any man that has any luxury of a woman, which I do, with an MEN or even one that can FaceTime you and pull her panties off and finger herself, you's a bad motherfucker. So if you have to go to OnlyFans and you have to, and there's one particular, not saying these big Instagrammers, you know what I mean? I mean, these women that's on there with these huge numbers, but if you can have a situation that there's a particular woman that you're following, such as Jay, that can give you some personal love, which he's done this for 2 hours, I would definitely use that as a better alternative. Now, if you want to go to DR for vacation next year with your wifey or with a couple of fellas, you're going to resort, then of course DR. You can't compare the two. So that's the full answer right there. I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, Jay?
Yeah, I think it. I mean, I also just think it's a lot safer in reality to just kind of go on OnlyFans or find, like you said, find somebody more local that you can have that kind of interaction with. I mean, like, I've never been to DR, but I mean, from what I can imagine, I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm not looking for STDs. So that would be my mindset is like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm paying money and yeah, I'm getting pussy, but I also might come back with chlamydia, gonorrhea, now COVID. I might skip that and just get COVID. Like, you just don't know.
And you may
Um,
even get shot by a cop out of that motherfucker shit.
yeah, and so like you said, it's just more about I'm trying to give a more personal experience, and I do reply to my messages. I try to be as active as I can be on my OnlyFans, and actually reply when people do message me. So yeah, so it's not just about I get to see this girl naked. It's like, oh, okay, I get to spend time with her. It's not just about having sex. Like, okay, I get to get this part that I need fulfilled.
And also versus a porn site. What's the difference too?
Yeah, versus like the porn site where it's like I said, right now it's just kind of basic but it is just that you're just kind of like looking at a screen per se or a video and jerking off. And it's like, okay, like you said, this video, I have videos that I watch that I go to all the time on Pornhub. But like I said, sometimes I'm like, I'm tired of watching the same video.
Yeah.
I want something a little different. I want something. And sometimes I do want things more personal. Like the guy that I follow on OnlyFans, like I have my own ideas of things that I would like to see him do, but I'm like, I'm not ready to reach out yet. That's where I'm at with that. But it is something that I'm even thinking about doing. I'm thinking about paying this dude to make me custom content because I want to see him do certain things.
God damn. Does he have a lot of subscribers?
No, he probably has about as many as me. So about a handful or so.
So a man could make some money off this shit. Damn.
Yeah. Usually from what I've learned from him, most of it is of course like mostly men are his subscribers, but he does have some women.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. But is he straight?
Yeah, he's straight.
But he got gay followers.
Yes.
Wow, this shit is huge, man. Shout out to Rob Call. Yeah, man, I'm in DR, man. I told you I moved here. I found me a Latina wife. I've been here for 2 days, and then you know what I mean. I'm not coming back to America ever again. I'm done. Let me stop paying for OnlyFans. Not smash is better than going to a tropical island smashing pretty man. So paying for only, I think you asked that question already, brother. I believe you're revisiting, but again, you're not understanding what she's saying. So I'm gonna make this real simple for you, Leon. Just listen to the answer that she gave you, and I'm gonna repeat that. She asking the same fucking question, bro. You know, she said the answer.
Yeah, it's just basically like if you're looking for pussy, that's fine. Go to DR and get your pussy. If you're looking for something to be entertained and that's actually personal, then go to OnlyFans.
Very well said. So that's her OnlyFans again. I'm gonna have her description. We do have Melanie. I did have her. Melanie actually texted me to put her description in her video, so that's okay. But you know, Jay is coming behind her. Don't even worry about it. She's coming up. So again, Jay, if you want to see, she's 5'5", she's voluptuous. She's half black and what right nationality?
So if you want to get like specific, so I'm black and then I'm Irish and Italian.
That means they fire in bed. So that's you know what I mean. So these are things that you need to know. So she wants to. She said, was how do I sign up? What do you sign up? Okay, shout out to JR100. I'm gonna put it in the description. The video is gonna go up literally 10-15 minutes following this, and I'm gonna put it in the description. And you just support her, and you know what I'm saying. Like I said, if worst case scenario, you go there for a month. You know what I'm saying, and you see what it's about. What the fuck? It's $12. You know. Oh, here we go again. Yeah, I'm in DR, bro. I moved. I'm no longer dealing with American women. I couldn't get no pussy in New York. No woman that would ever look at me, and I left there, and now I got a whole bunch of $40 dollar woman out here. It's great. you you know, I'm struggling. I couldn't make it out there, so fuck it. I moved out here. So shout out to Jay. If you want to know what her full name is Juice Box J. Let me bring it in closer. Juice Box J. Okay. And it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And if you forget it, just remember Juice Box. That's all you got to do. And I think we really, really appreciate you. I think you're incredible. You're extraordinary. You have an incredible fucking personality. And that's what these men want to see. A lot of times they want to see me do these videos in another country. And I'm like, well, I do stream girls from other countries, but it's, I speak English, so you know what I mean. I have to be able to have some type of translator here, but this is great. Damn, guys are done about to put my sister on OnlyFans to get this money.
So do what you gotta do.
I told a girl that yesterday. She told me she wants me to tell my subscribers if they to give her $30 an hour. I don't know what she was talking about. So I'm like, yo, why don't you just open up an OnlyFans? And she goes, I'm not opening up OnlyFans. Bitch, you just told me to $30 an hour. What are you talking about? So if I'm telling them $30 an hour, they're gonna be like, for what? Because I guess they wanted her Instagram and she wanted me to tell your guys $30 an hour. Here's my Cash App. I'm like, $30 an hour for what? They're gonna call your phone.
For what exactly?
Yeah. But Instagram was doing that at one time where if you they still do it, but they don't need to do it now. But Instagram started this shit first with the whole, if you want me to call your phone, put such and such in my Cash App and they'll call you from a private number or some shit like that and do whatever. You see me in Queens today, you ain't see me in Queens today, brother. I'm in Dominican Republic, brother. I didn't move by me. I'm here with the Boppies, brother. I'm in with the Boppy. Okay, Cyrus said hi, Juice Box J. She's incredible. Yeah, body wise, don't even listen. Like I said, her shit is official. I know that personally. Her shit is definitely official. She ain't got to get up and show no ass and none of that, nigga. You want to go to this shit, you see her on her OnlyFans. She got the body's crazy.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. So we ain't doing too much. So shout out to everybody. I appreciate y'all. I'm telling you, we need to get OnlyFans pimp game. Get on the OnlyFans. Dudes is y'all better get with it, man. I think women are hustling more than dudes these days, man. It's getting
some of the women, like I said, there's some women that have the free OnlyFans for like their previews, and some of them they hustle. Those ones usually hustle more in the private messages because they just send them out like spam almost to people. So I get them too, even as a creator, like I get them because I follow their page, and just for an example, I'm not going to say her name, but there is one woman, she sent me a message a couple days ago, and she's like, the message itself was basically like, you want to see me topless? Unlock this message for $40. And I was like, whoa, somebody's paying $40, but she has a lot of fans. So, I mean,
they're paying that shit.
Yeah, somebody has to be paying it.
Oh my God. Think, brothers. I don't want to say too much. Y'all got to get this shit together. Oh, yeah, I heard about this dude. Larry Wills, the bodybuilder, addicted to OnlyFans. Dude was going broke on IG models. That's just the new addiction, man. That IG model shit is really, and women get big on IG quick. I did a video for this young lady that, older woman, but she got like a MILF little look to her. And her photographers don't really bring out who she is. She got a sexy look, tatted up. And we worked together the other day, man. I just gave her one clip of the video that I did for her. She fucking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. It's the vision. Anybody you want with you, you got to see their vision. I see her vision, so I already know what it is, and that's just my thing. JR, okay. Oh, somebody saying Spain. Yeah, I know my boy used to have his wife send out dirty socks on eBay.
Oh my God.
Yes, his wife. Yes, I'll never forget that shit. For only $40 to see titties. Yeah, Abby, it depends on who it is. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the person, the more they charge.
Because you can set your own prices. So whatever they feel like it's worth to them, that's what they're gonna set it as.
What kind of freedom is that? Y'all niggas better get your shit together, man. I don't give a fuck if y'all fat and ugly, nigga. You better get on that OnlyFans and see if you get one subscriber. Think about it, motherfucker.
Yeah,
right? That's some deep shit. So we appreciate y'all again. Is there anything else that you would like to add on to this amazing interview?
Um, I just want to say thank you for your time and for having me. It's a good experience for me. Like, this is the first, and I had a really good time.
Well, she's gonna definitely be back. We did this on spontaneous level, and she's definitely on that mission the way I am. So we good on that. So we already got that foundation. So she will be back. Pablo said Nate is trolling about the DR thing. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, you got to listen. They always say if you can't beat them, join them. So I just told him I moved out here, and now I got. Oh yeah, you tell brothers don't move. You hating on brothers traveling. No, motherfucker, I'm hating on brothers talk about the same fucking place. You see what she said? She said she's tired of the same old porn. You know, I'm tired of the same old fucking porn. You go to interracial 3 months later, it's the same fucking people. You're like, damn, they ain't getting no new people. Amateur is like the only shit you could go to where you see new faces. Even that shit gets repeated, right?
Yeah.
So this is no excuses coming from a beautiful woman. You know, y'all always challenge me, and I bring all types of women to tell y'all the same shit, and you still don't get it. So, you know, she's telling you basically you ain't got to go out there and buy that pussy, man. Just if you want to do it, you do it, but shit, you don't really have to. You know what I'm saying? There's a lifestyle here for free. You're not going into these BDSM parties and they paying you, right?
No.
Y'all better get it together, man. Y'all better get it together. So much love. Oh, yeah. Rob Carr, yeah, they see me in DR earlier. I was eating out there. I was eating a burger, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Much love to everybody. See?